welcome to the new segment, Total War Tuesdays, Triple Threat. Now, Triple Threat, I'm going to be playing 3 matches. They're going to be small. You can see by the size of my armies here. And I'm going to play kind of like a best of 3 against an opponent, and we just bring smaller armies. It's kind of unique. I don't really see too many small battles taking place online, so it's always good to just shake things up a little bit and try something new. So let me introduce you to my army. I picked the fucking Aravachi. I got 2 Iberian slingers up the front. I have 2 Iberian swordsmen. I got 2 Iberian spearmen, and I got 2 Celt Iberian cavalry, and 1 noble fighter as my general. So noble fighter is the killing power. I tried to make sure that I have enough units to overwhelm and kind of surround. He picked 2 Eastern Archers, my opponent. He picked 2 Hillmen, 2 Hoplites, 3 Hoplites, and a Colchian Noble. So, a very similar build to mine, except he does something very strange and he splits up his units. I think he's just firing on anything. So, I kind of focus fire with my Iberian Slingers on... Oh yeah, I got my paint tools. Check this out. I just installed the paint tools. I just figured out how to do it. I'm probably heaps late to that party, but... Yeah, so I'm going to get a charge on these Hillmen. I don't know why it was stopped. The Hillmen got a precursor volley off. And I'm going to charge him with my Celt Iberian Cav. They are medium Cav, so I just think, you know, why not just take them out quickly. Got some fairly good charges on them. 30 kills straight off the bat. I don't know if those Hillmen are gonna hold up in that battle for too long. So I am focus firing. This is so good. Oh, wigging out a little bit there. So using my paint tool to show you where I'm shooting. So I think I'm focus firing on this unit here. Eastern Archer is managing to break that unit there. So I'm going to bring my Iberian Spearman up to face these Hillmen. I do notice that he's running away. So I turn about with my Cav at some point and try and charge again. There we go. What did I pop? Frenzy charge before, so he's going to be exhausted from that. So I'm going to bring this unit in here, as you can see by the paint tool that I just drew there. I'm going to bring in there and just get another charge on my Hillman. On those Hillmen, I think I popped Frenzy charge. Yes, there I go. He's got some really weird buggy formation happening there, which is good for me, I suppose. Actually, it's probably bad for me. So I get a lot of kills straight off the bat, and he's starting to waver. So it was kind of a bit of a throwaway unit. The Celt Iberian Cav, I've only really lost a few units on each of them, and that seems worth it. And at this point, he brings these horse archers out of the woods, and I was like, no way am I going to face up to that. So I managed to finish off these Hillmen and run away with my units before I take too many casualties from this horse archer. I finished off the other Hillmen over on that side, sorry, and we're managing to pick apart this Eastern Archer. So he's not really like reacting heaps well to what I'm doing. I might just go forward. So I'm just going to sit my Iberian Spearman up here, maybe chase him off, get some volleys off. It's a really cheap unit, this Iberian Spearman, so I don't mind him wasting his volleys on this unit. I do manage to get a Jav toss off, and wow, see the devastation that one toss can do. Pretty intense. So we managed to, you know, almost half that whole unit with one Jav toss. He's taken some shots with the Eastern Archer on my slingers that came back from routing. I think I managed to get another toss off. One javelin toss off. There we go, into the backs. Wow. They're getting ripped apart. So 27 men left in that unit. I managed to run away. I think I'm just going to get back to my main units as well. So at the moment, my opponent's not doing heaps well to react to what I'm doing. This is the first match, so even if I win it, that doesn't really mean a thing. You know, he's still got 2 matches to pull it back from. I saw that he was hiding behind his Hoplite, so I pull out of that charge with my Celt Iberian Cav, and I'll have to go around the edges there. I think I do the same with this Celt Iberian Cav. His horse archer's still taking shots at my useless spearman, so not too unhappy about that. I managed to just put my Iberian swordsmen. I know that they have lots of javelins, so I just sit them off a little bit out of range of his of any charge that he might send my way, and just unload my javelins before I start charging in. I got a charge onto his Eastern Archers with my Celtiberian Cav, but I managed to hit a couple of these other units on the way in. So we do rout that Eastern Archer, and I pull out immediately. All the while, still taking shots, not really getting too many kills, but I guess I'm doing some HP damage here and there. So just a hail of javelins coming in at this point. Maybe I'll get a screenshot. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I'll get a better one later. Doesn't really look nice. Anyway, what am I, 5? So I get my charges organized, I think, at some point. No, still firing with my jabs. Yep, I'm firing into the rear of his hoplite with these slingers. So he's allowed me to get... Yeah, his horse archers are still taking shots. So he's allowed me to fully circle his formation at this point. And I crash into his hoplites with my noble fighter. How many kills? 37, 40. Wow, climbing real quick. So these hoplites are going to do really well in an extended fight, but you know, the charge of these noble fighters haven't lost a man. Like, the charge of these noble fighters is just absolutely brutal. Look at them, they're so badass. They're just like walking up and they're all like, yeah, what up? I like the helmets as well, they're pretty cool. Anyway, I'm gonna chase into his Colchian nobles. Now this is gonna be a good fight. It's just a shame that he's so far outnumbered, you know. I get a rear charge with this Iberian swordsman and a rear charge with the Celtiberian Cav, so he's completely surrounded with his Colchian nobles. So they won't really last too long in this fight, although they do have very good morale, very good armor. They're not going to stand up to my swords. Go on, hit him. Yeah. NTM. Easy. So, good battle. I can't remember my opponent's name. I should really give a shout out. Once I find out, I'll do it. But this is game 1. Pretty much GG. His horse archers, where are they? They're going to charge into my spearmen as I run away. But it seems like too little too late, because they're all starting to rout. So that's game 1 to do. GG Bear. There we go, decisive victory. Let's jump into the next battle, game 2. Now, I saw that first battle and I was like, man, destroyed him. Maybe I should pick something that's not as good. Not that, you know, Aravachi are good. It's just that, you know, he's not the best player in the world. So I picked Pergamon. I can admit I've never played as Pergamon in my whole entire life. All 25 years of it. Never come across a game with the Pergamese. So I pick 3 slingers, 3 Galatian swords. Let's just forward this. Actually, let's fast forward it. Okay. 3 Galatian swords, a gamer spear. Never used this unit before in my life. We'll see how he handles himself. And 3 of these Thorea spears. I make a break for this for these woodlands. I figure I'm gonna, you know, take control of it and probably push my way out of it, rather than him sitting inside of it and getting shots off into me. So he's got 1 Celtic slinger that's about to be double teamed by my 3 slingers. He's got 2 Celtic warriors. He's got 1 Marsilian hoplite, a thorax swordsman, and a Marsilian cavalry. He does have extra units. Here we go. He's got a Marsilian thorax spear. So he does have a couple of other units that are hidden. Here comes another one, Marsilian thorax spear. If I could give my opponent any advice, I don't consider myself an amazing player by any means, but I have been playing for a little bit. But I would probably give him some advice and say, when you hit somebody, make sure you commit all your troops rather than just doing it piecemeal, because there's plenty of these kind of things where he sends a Thoraeus spear in, and it gets overwhelmed because it's just by itself. It doesn't have any support near it. So I've got these Galatian swords, 32 weapon attack, 40 weapon damage. They're pretty good units. good precursor volley into his Threa spears. You probably won't be able to see a lot in this little scrubland here. Got some good charges up there. Yeah, not too bad. I think he goes into square, which is a really good idea. Yeah, he did a great job there. And I'm going to bring another Threa spear. So it's all about this kind of thing, like, you know, hitting him and supporting with another unit. So while I've got his front engaged, I'll come around the back and shoot some javelins into his rear. That'll help to finish off this engagement a lot quicker than it would otherwise take. So still getting shots off onto his Celtic slingers. They're down to 52 men. They've got 33 kills on my own slingers. This is kind of useless, shooting into this blob. So yeah, so he does bring a unit in, and he brings some support. So he's got these Celtic warriors. They get a really good precursor volley off, and I do the same. I go into square. So I absorb his charge. They're going to wrap around, but I'm going to hold off for a very long time in that particular engagement. I take my slingers back because he is charging with his Celtic warriors. Don't want to take any precursor volleys. Bring my Threa spears around this edge. So it's all about throwing more units in. I've got another Threa spear coming in, and they're going to get some good volleys off into his Celtic warriors. We get a good engagement in the middle here. Galatian swords up against these Celtic warriors. I can't remember the cost of these Galatian swords, but I feel like they didn't pay for themselves. These Celtic warriors are very cheap. These Galatian swords are, I don't believe they're heaps cheap, but I don't believe they pay for themselves that well. Like, they're down to 98 men, 93. These Celtic warriors are just kind of pulling them apart very quickly. Not heaps of armor there. So I am getting rear shots into these Celtic warriors. They aren't dropping that quickly though, surprisingly. It might just be like an awkward angle or something like that. I'm probably getting a fair bit of friendly fire there as well. So I notice he's bringing his Massilian hoplite in. I turn around and face him with the Threa spear, get some shots into him. In previous games, I've noticed this will be the main threat of his army. These Massilian hoplites are incredible. They're amazing on the charge. They got the special, I can't remember, it's like elite spear or something like that. So they get a bonus versus infantry. So they are absolute like Roman killers. I do engage him with my Threa spear and a Galatian sword. And he's bringing in yet more units in his Celtic slingers and thorax swordman. All the while he's got this Massilian Threa spear facing off against my Agama spear. So I'm getting some javelin volleys off. We are shredding him. I've only lost one man. So I'm pretty impressed by these Agama spears there, okay. 80 armor, he's huge. Bonus first large 20, melee attack 32. So pretty good, like they're not a bad unit at all. My slingers haven't had a whole lot to do in this battle so far. They're kind of just hanging around, getting shots where they can. It looks like I'm going to take a charge. No, going to melee. And I do get a charge off into his thorax swordsman at the last minute. I go into square. So he's not really, if he comes out of formation attack, he would be a lot more effective in these engagements. But because he's in formation attack, you see these weird like lines facing up against my squares. So the only point that he can attack me is in this small little area here. And you know, oh yes, I can use my paint tools. And these areas on the wings are not being utilized at all. So they're just kind of like staying there, playing with themselves. And it's kind of good for me as well, because I can get some shots off into these units that are just standing around. He does have his Massilian Cav left over. Very good unit. Awesome at anti-Cav unit. So he's going to bring that in. I managed to destroy this Threa spear with my Galatian sword. But I'm going to bring my Agama spear in and hopefully get a good charge. No, just kind of stop there. So we managed to chase them off. I was saying before these guys are rubbish, but they actually did finish off that Threa spear relatively quickly. That was good. I'm bringing back my Agama spear. I want to just have one unit in reserve because I know he does have some mobility left on the field in this Massilian cavalry unit. So I want to make sure I can defend my slingers if I need to. He manages to destroy my Threa spear over here, which was interesting. They only have, they have 63 men left. That's pretty good actually. And my slingers are going to meet them head on, but I am getting some good shots off with my other slinger units into the back of them. They are in the woods, but they're going to get shredded. So I'm going to keep chasing his leftover units with my Galatian sword, just to be annoying. I do form up. I'm trying to brace, but they are medium. Medium against medium, so the mass is about even. But you can see I just got absolutely trounced by this Massilian Cav. They didn't really lose. They didn't lose any units on the charge. 56 kills, 36 charge bonus seems quite good for a unit of that stature, and they're not expensive either. I really like Massilia. Whenever anyone picks Rome, I usually pick Massilia, just for the Massilian Hoplites and these Massilian Cav. So he does manage to shred my Galatian swords. I don't know if they come back from that fight, but oh well. So I throw my, or do I? See, I think he went into shield wall. Yeah, okay. So that's a good idea. Not a bad idea at all. So I throw my Agamer spears into that engagement. I've got these Galatian swords over here. I think we managed to pull apart that Celtic warrior there. I get some rear shots off into his muscle. Whoa! How does it feel to be a pincushion, bro? That sucks. So I get a rear charge with my Galatian swords into these Massilian Hoplites. I pull out with my Agamer spears. They weren't really being that effective in this engagement anyway, and I'm happy to wait. My slingers are taking shots at that Massilian Cav. He really should be, you know, either running away or going around the flank at this point, but he's just kind of hanging about, and I'm trying to get some good shots off with my slingers. I might just do the rest of the battle. Nah, I think I like it more when you can actually see what the units are. So he's going to get a really good rear charge. No, he's just going to kind of... Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think he just got caught on the back of my Galatian swords. But they are being attacked in the rear at this point, and they are routing. That's a good move by my opponent. If anything, it just wasn't executed well. But he just get charged by what's this guy? A slinger. He uses Intimidate. Very good use of Intimidate on my Galatian sword there. They are routing, so they are off the field. But as soon as he pulls out of this engagement, you know, I'm going to hit him with a lot of slinger fire. So this game was a lot closer. My opponent did quite well in you know, rear charging and that kind of thing, but he really needs to commit more troops to most of the engagements. So I do get a lot of shots into his Massilian Cav in the rear. The general, I think, died in one of the earlier volleys. So why is this flashing? I don't really want that mode. Just watch as they get pulled apart. So yeah, so his general crumbles. I'm going to bring my Agamer spear into the rear. I didn't really have to use them that much. So I mean, this is the first Total War Tuesday triple threat. So you know, there's going to be plenty more to come. But hopefully I'll find another opponent that might be, you know, a little bit better. This guy on a double XP Chevron. He's got 175 kills. Massilian Hoplite excelling in this kind of fight. Though these Thorea spears have been holding him up quite well. So they haven't been used that effectively. And I managed to get into the rear of this Thorax Swordman with my slinger. So they're out of ammo at this point, so... Let's see if we can see some kills here. So this is an awesome spear battle here. Agamer spears up against Massilian Hoplites. That'd be a close one. Something's happening. I think I brought my Thorea spears out of square formation there. Okay, there we go.
Yes, Commander.
I think I managed to shatter that unit. There we go, and the Thorax Swordman attacking the rear, exhausted, and he's going to rout as well.
Understood.
So good match for my opponent. Game 2, I managed to win it. So it's 2 out of 3 for me. Let's see if we can make it 3 out of 3. So I chose the Getae, and he chose Bactria. To be honest, I expected horses, which is why I picked a lot of spears. I brought 3 of these Dacian bowmen and 1 spear with some leftover money that I had. These armored spears, I haven't played a whole lot of Getae either, so I just wanted to try out a whole bunch of the different ones. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 armored spears. I've got 1 spear unit, 3 of these Dacian bowmen, because I've heard a lot about them, and I've got 1 noble spear. Again, just because I expected lots of horses. And what does he bring? No horses. Not even one. So he got 2 of these Thoraeus spears. Good choice. Levy pikeman. Thorax swordsman, 2 of them. He's got 1 Persian light archer. And a Bactrian royal guard. So these guys are going to be pretty vicious in any fight that we get into. So immediately, I just want to get rid of his light archer. Because I know that I have the ranged advantage. Though clumping my units together like this is not very wise, really. I notice his Thoraeus spear is closing in on me, so I'm going to pull back and engage with my noble spear. I think I send an armored spear into this unit as well. So he's going to get some good shots into my general's unit. I haven't lost a man yet, but probably doing a lot of HP damage, no doubt. Let's just check out this this charge here. So it is slight uphill. I'm not going to get too many kills. It is a spear unit, so they're not going to be too vicious on the charge. They are really cool looking units though. How many kills did I get? 18 kills off the charge, lost 2 men. Over here we've engaged as well. I don't know how I'm going to do. Yeah, so I popped shield screen. They're probably going to be pretty effective there. I have lost a lot more units than these Thoraeus spears, so we'll see how that goes. But again, like my opponent's holding back. He does have this pikeman that I'm going to have to deal with at some point, but I feel like I've got the skirmish advantage to be able to pull that apart when the time comes. These Thorax swordsmen are just going to hang back and watch me destroy these Thoraeus spears. So I'm going to put it on fast forward here just because I don't want to make you guys sit there and have to watch the whole engagement. So I know he's on square, so I surround immediately, and I'm starting to get some good shots off. I managed to shred his light archer, and I'm going to try and get some good shots into his Bactrian royal guard at this point. And I'm just defending the rear of my units, but he's letting me do it. Again, like he's letting me destroy his units. At this point, I'm like, okay, I could do this a little bit more effectively and efficiently, so I'm going to peel off my skirmishers, round to each flank, and hopefully try and get some rear shots into some of his units. He sees what I'm doing, and he's like, oh no, I'm going to bring my Bactrian royal guard back in. But it's too late. I'm getting some good shots into the rear of his units here and there. Meanwhile, point blank, you know, my Dacian bowmen just unloading onto this Levy pikeman. They can't really hold up to that. Here come his royal guard. I don't really know where they're going. He probably would have been more useful to just chase off my units with his Thorax swordsman, because they could have had like precursor volleys straight into my Dacian bowmen. I don't know why they're not unloading their precursors here into my spears and my units that are facing off against them, but you know, only he knows. I forget his name. Fuck, I should really find out. Anyway, let me just use my paint tool to show you what's going on here. So he's creating a wedge. Not really working out that well for him. I think he has it in his head that this is a good kind of formation for defense, but it's really just it's not working well for him. Because if he had okay, and he could start picking apart my men, but he doesn't have skirmishers. All his skirmishers are down here, having a sleep. So yeah, I don't know what his thinking was behind that. Let's get in close. We'll see some Bactrian royal guard being torn apart. Their clothes are getting dirty. Ah, what a waste. The wife's not going to be happy. Look at this, all the blood on your sheets. Hey, you need to fix yourself up. So I decided at this point that they just need some arrows. So I'm going to pour some skirmisher fire. I've got two units on the flanks. So I'm going to get a charge in with my spears into these Thorax swordsmen. Managed to shred his general's unit. Poor dude. But I do get a charge with my armor spear on this flank here. Just getting into him. Get some hits. Go on. Hit him. Yeah, and his general's unit routed. This Thoraeus spear's held up like a very long time. He's very tired. He's losing decisively. But in square, they can't be attacked in the rear, which is very important because it just means they're going to hold out so much longer with the morale that they do have. So, yeah, good match for my opponent. He's a cool guy. He seemed really chill. I'll probably play with him again, for sure. Hopefully you're watching this match and just seeing from like a different perspective. I find that always helps. When I look back on my replays, I'm like, whoa, what was I doing? And it helps to kind of make you a better gamer. Anyway, I'm just going to on fast forward. Managed to destroy his Thorax Swordsman, and it was 3 out of 3 for Jujubee. I think it was 2 decisive victories and 1 that wasn't as decisive. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for joining us on Total War Tuesday's Triple Threat. 3 for 3. Woo! See you guys next time.